I hope when he says patriotism, does he mean for the region or for Nigeria? Because those are two different things.
In the region, patriotism in the region.
Look, the Southeast is probably the most patriotic region in Nigeria already, and I'll tell you why. There's no other region that would take the amount of strategic and systemic neglect and still be part of Nigeria. People forget that in 1967, even before the Biafra War, the first secession was done by the Irish Republic because they were not happy. So the South is already the most patriotic. Any agitation you are seeing is to draw attention to what is happening here. Newfound patriotism, if you're talking about a newfound, vigor to develop the region, I can agree with that.
A working relationship.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily call it patriotism. If you say that for a while, the Southeast has not, the different states, units, industries have not worked as one cohesive body, but there seems to be a newfound thinking about how the region needs to get everybody and get all the ducks in a row and work together. I would agree. But patriotism for what? I don't blame any region in the country or anybody in the country now.
So let's put it in perspective, to really speak to what he's saying. The cessationists, those who support the idea of Biafra and they want to secede, now he's saying that a number of them are now opening up more to the Nigerian project, right? That's essentially what he's saying. So I don't want us to, is it about a nomenclature problem, or can we speak directly to how he is basically saying that this SCDC project is turning some people who wanted to secede back into the country?
No, I'm speaking directly to what he said. It's not even nomenclature. I'm speaking directly to what he's saying. I think he means well. And I think he wants to get the best out of it. And I think the intentions of, I'm not in their mind, but I think the intentions of him and those at the SCDC are to actually do what he's saying, which is, to get patriotism, the fire of patriotism burning, to get people to stop thinking of seceding from the country, which of course is a major cause of the insecurity issues, because it has given opportunities to all sorts of funny characters to operate in the region. But at the same time, this is what I don't want the SCDC to dabble into, which is national politics. Come in, develop the region, work with people who are developing the region, leave national politics, leave patriotism out of it. The truth is that people who are working on the farm and making money, people who are processing agricultural products, people who are manufacturing things, don't have time to be unknown gunmen. The idle mind is devil workshop, and the problem is that you have too many idle, unemployed youths in the region. And sadly, it's a situation where, because of what they can see and how they see that the most prosperous people are people who don't produce anything. It's politicians and preachers. There is no actual production done by any of these two groups, but it seems to make a lot of money. So you find people are always looking about how to hammer. So there's no industry here. So they should leave the political talk aside. I appreciate the fact that he's talking about people who want to succeed, but I think all that talk is for Abuja. It's not something that is relevant to what.
So very quickly, the budget of 140 billion naira, is that a lot? Is that too much for the SCDC? Is that too much for the region?
Yeah, I would congratulate him on how he split the budget and how he arranged it, because I think it's a drop of water in the ocean. I don't think it does much, but seeing how strategically Okoye and his people have, mapped out how it's to be used, I have to give them credit, a lot of credit, because it's the efficiency, and if implemented properly, it will go a long way. But in terms of how much it is, I don't think it's anything.
Well, I just wish them well and all that, but I still want to come back to Tony Okoye, his grievances and all that, still talking about developing structures like it's called out on the chart, that they have to tell, oh, this is what SEDC did for us. They built schools and hospitals and all that stuff, right? Is it coming from a place of not understanding literally the activities or the concept of SEDC that is making him, make all those utterances and talking about developing, as stated, this is the work of the government. So providing these monies, and SEDC is putting in plans or structures that could attract more investors to the region, gain all that big capital projects, right? Like if they have conversations, they talk about the seaports, the railway connecting the southeastern states and all that stuff. Is it him not understanding the nature or the concept of the SEDC?
I think it's because if you go back to the Petroleum Trust Fund, you go back to the NDDC, and you go back to all sorts of development structure that the federal government has put up in the country, what they've done is they've stolen the money and to prevent people from talking. They've built things people can see, build one shoddy hospital and write NDDC. build something. You know, PTF was going around the country building hostels for students. Some nice hostels, donating school buses to university. Some, you know, some nice buses. But I always feel that all this money could have been used to, you know, strategically. If education is what you want to develop, it's not hostel and school bus you donate, it's laboratories. It's more useful to go to a mechanical engineering department, go and buy 10, 20 scrap cars, drop for them, and put a budget to buy parts so that by the time people are graduating, they understand the practical application of what they are doing.
All right.
You know, transformers for electrical, elect to repair, things like that. That's what we should do in developing capacity, not building hostel and donating school bus, which is what PTF, NDDC people did. So it's still money, build things you can write NDDC. So when they say, what happened to the money? We built road, we built school, we built hospital. What is the local government doing? What's the state government doing? What's the federal government doing? Why do we need more agencies to do what those we should be doing already?
All right. I mean, if we recall correctly, Professor Chukwumachao Soludo, if I recall correctly, did say something about the NDDC and it wasn't pleasurable. Thank you once again, Nnamdi, for your time. We'll see how this budget is implemented and if it would indeed be approved at the very end. We'd like to see that headline and see how it's... I think the true test of Mark Okoye, you know, and what he's able to accomplish with such resources, because they say to whom much is given,
yeah, much is expected.
Much is expected. The morning show will continue. When we come back, we'll be joined by the African Democratic Congress as they react to the 150 million naira advert permit fee as released by the Enugu State Signage and Advertising Agency.